Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another Tafsir Halaqa with Abdullah and Abdurrahman Khan. Today, Abdullah will be doing the next section of Surah Ar-Rahman, the final section of Surah Ar-Rahman.
So today, inshallah, as Abdurrahman said earlier, we shall be talking about Surah Ar-Rahman. So a quick, brief summary introduction of Surah Ar-Rahman is that Surah Ar-Rahman is the 55th chapter of the Quran. It contains 70 ayat, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He set down the surah as a reminder for us and the jinn we must remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings He has blessed upon us. So inshallah, today's section we shall be discussing about is talking about all the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall bestow upon us in Jannah. So inshallah, before I go into a brief summary on this section of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the people of Jannah, inshallah, I will recite this part of Surah Ar-Rahman. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولمن خاف مقام ربه جنتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ذواتا أفنان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما عينان تجريان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما من كل فاكهة زوجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان متكئين على فرش بطائنها من استبرق وجنى الجنتين دان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهن قاصرات الطرف لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان كأنهن الياقوت والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ومن دونهما جنتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان مدهامتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما عينان نضاختان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما فاكهة ونخل ورمان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهن خيرات حسان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان حور مقصورات في الخيام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان متكئين على رفرف خضر وعبقري حسان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان تبارك اسم ربك ذي الجلال والإكرام بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما آمين رب العالمين. So inshallah today, as I said earlier, we shall be talking about the descriptions of the people of Jannah. Abdurrahman has covered from ayah 1 to 45. So inshallah, I'll be finishing up the surah, inshallah, the second part from 46 to the end, inshallah. So right before the couple of ayats, right before Abdurrahman was ending, we're talking about how the people used to disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how they used to go against his wishes. So the next part I'm about to talk about right now is the complete opposite. As for the one who has feared his Lord. So this is inshallah shall be our topic for today. وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ. And as for the one who has feared his Lord, who stands in fear and complete awe of his Lord, shall be what for him? Two jannatan. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to tell us over here that if you are to fear me, and we need to realize that the taqwa and the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ittaqillah, is not the same as having a fear of another person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a completely different level. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, have complete fear of me, وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ. So if you fear me and you obey me and you follow my commandments, what is halal, what is haram, what is permissible, what is not permissible, and many other ahkam that He has revealed to us, for him shall be jannatan. And inshallah, Allah will give us many, many more blessings. So this is why He says in the next ayah, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, as He has said 31 times in the surah. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as you can see over here, He uses a dual form of رَبِّكُمَا, رَبِّكُمَا. He could have used Rabbukum or something like that, but he used this to show for the two kinds of people. He was referring to the man, al-ins, wal-jinn, the jinn, the two kinds of people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He constantly said this throughout the surah, as I've said earlier in the introduction, so that we may reflect and that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us multiple blessings. So the next blessing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us if we are one of the people of Jannah is ذَوَاتَ أَفْنَانٍ. Both will be with lush branches. So what are these two things? These two things are basically the Jannah, the Jannatan that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised for those who have complete trust and reliance in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Afnan, you can either translate it into branches or trees. So as we know, everything in this dunya is nothing as compared to something in al-akhirah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the things in Jannah 10 times fold bigger, whatever it is. We cannot even imagine how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make for us in Jannah. So when we say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will give us trees, these kinds of trees are not normal. Like the normal trees, the most beautiful trees on earth, they're not even comparable to them. So when we say these kind of branches or trees, some scholars, they have said that these trees will actually move. So what kind of movement will they do? So basically, some mufassirin, they have said these kind of trees, they will move up and down. So if the person of Jannah will be residing in the garden, if he wishes to have some kind of fruit, the tree will read his mind and it will actually bend forward. So the person will not have to get up and he just needs to grab the fruit and then he gets to eat it. Whatever, if he's hungry, he will just grab a fruit. And as we know, the fruit of Jannah is also very special. If an apple of this dunya is in al-akhirah, it is unimaginable. So Allah, the next ayah is فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Remind us again, which of the flavors of your Lord will you deny? And then again, another blessing you will bestow upon us in Jannah. فِيهِمَا عَيْنَانِ تَجْرِيَانِ. So within these gardens, each one of them, they will have gushing springs. So these springs, some mufassirin, they have said, they will not be like the normal water of this dunya. Some of it will be wine, and as we know, wine, there's a difference between the wine of this dunya and the wine of al-akhirah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the wine of al-akhirah way more pure than what we have in this world. So Allah ta'ala, some mufassirin have said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make some of the springs gush forth with wine, some of them will gush forth with water, but this water is the most purest water you can find. It is a sweet tasting water. And some mufassirin have also said that these springs will also gush forth with milk. So the next ayah Allah Ta'ala will say again is فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. The which of the favors of your Lord will you both deny, meaning jinn and mankind. The next ayah is فيهما من كل فاكهة زوجان. In each of the gardens will be two types of every fruit. So Mufassirin, they don't know exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant for this. But as we know, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes, it is amazing. So some Mufassirin have interpreted that this means that some of them will have the same color, some of them will have the same gender. Allah knows the best what He will give us in the Al-Akhirah. So the ayah means in each will be two types of every fruit. So فيهما من كل فاكهة زوجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. So what will these people be doing? What will they be doing in Jannah? What will they be sitting on? Allah Ta'ala describes this in this surah as well. Inshallah, I'll go to Surah Al-Instan, how He also describes it very similarly. So the ayah says, متكئين على فرش بطائنها من استبرق. So the believers who have passed the trial of this dunya, they will recline on what? بطائنها من استبرق. They shall be reclining on sofas or beds that shall be made from what? They shall be made from the most richest kind of silk. Some people, they say that this silk will be some kind of silk that comes from a special kind of animal, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the best. So as I said about the trees, dawata afnan, that there was some kind of movement, this ayah kind of gives the idea that this is kind of true. وَجَنَى الْجَنَّتَيْنِ دَانٍ. And the fruits of the both gardens, jannatan, will be hanging within the reach. So basically that these things, they will go back and forth, meaning one time they'll stand up straight and the other time it will bend towards the person's needs. So the next ayah is فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Then again, which of the favors of your Lord will you both deny? فِيهِنَّ قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ لَمْ يَطْمِثْهُنَّ إِنسٌ قَبْلَهُمْ وَلَا جَانٌّ. This ayah is basically saying that, as we know, the people of Jannah, they have some kind of certain degree, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have things prepared for us. The people of Jannah are not like the people of this world. So within the Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make people that will lower their gaze, and these kind of people have not been affected or have been touched. They are pure, like Allah ta'ala says, al-waqi'ah, لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. No one can touch it except the purified ones. So basically Allah is saying, لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان. These kind of people, they have not been touched or affected by any kind of person or jinn. Then again, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Then again, which of the favors of your Lord will you both deny? كَأَنَّهُنَّ الْيَاقُوتُ وَالْمَرْجَانُ. The people of Jannah will be so beautiful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has compared them to al-yaqut, the rubies, like the red rubies that you see that come from the earth, or wal-marjan, and coral. So marjan doesn't necessarily have to mean coral. It can also mean anything that comes out of the sea. So anything beautiful that comes out of the sea. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have compared it to coral, He could have compared it to pearls, He could have compared it to whatever He likes. Allah ta'ala knows the best. So Allah ta'ala is describing, this could either mean the facial expressions of them, or it can either be their personality, that their personality will be so beautiful that they shall be compared to rubies and corals. It'll be that beautiful. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. That which of your favors, which of your Lord's favors will you deny? هَلْ جَزَاءُ الْإِحْسَانِ إِلَّا الْإِحْسَانِ. Is there any reward for goodness except goodness? So this ayah is actually a blessing. As we think that many of us, whenever we do something good, we don't think that we get rewarded appropriately. In this dunya, if we were to do something for someone, let's say we do some kind of work for many hours and we work so hard on it, but in the end, it is futile. It doesn't come out with any kind of benefits. And in the end, there's nothing that comes out of it. There's no goodness. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, whatever goodness you do, there shall be a goodness as a reward for it. So this is the mind of a human. Whenever we do something, when you think of reward. So whenever we give sadaqah, whenever we do zakah, whenever we do something in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this ayah should be our motivation. So whenever we give to the poor, whenever we give to any kind of charity fundraiser or organizations, we shouldn't be stingy, and we should realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has something prepared better for us, and whatever is in this world is paid for such a small price as compared to al-akhirah. So the next ayah is فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, that which of your Lord's favor will you both deny? وَمِن دُونِهِمَا جَنَّتَانِ, and below these two gardens will be two others. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we said in the earlier ayat, Allah ta'ala talked about another two Jannah. فِيهِمَا عَيْنَانِ تَجْرِيَانِ, and He talked about the other two Jannah. And within those two Jannah, underneath them, there shall be another two. So as we know, Allah Ta'ala, when He creates a garden, it is nothing like this dunya. So inshallah, we shall see in the next ayah how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes their color. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ مُدْهَامَّتَانِ, their color shall be a dark green color. So mudhammatan is actually a native Arabic word. So this was known to the Arabs, and they used to describe it to see anything lush. As you know, the Arabs, they were in a very desert area. So grass really wasn't that common. So whenever they used to see grass, it used to be very lush and dark green. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comparing that color to this. But as we know, the color of Jannah, Allah ta'ala knows the best. What it shall be, but most likely, as from this ayah, that the color of these gardens shall be dark green. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, that which of your Lord's favor will you both deny? فِيهِمَا عَيْنَانِ تَجْرِيَانِ, and فِيهِمَا عَيْنَانِ نَضَّاخَتَانِ. So in the first two, we also had two gushing springs that either shall be containing sweet water, milk, or wine, whatever Allah Ta'ala decides. And within this ayah as well, those two gardens beneath the other two gardens will also have springs, and these springs will also be gushing forth with whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, that which of your Lord's favors shall you deny? The next ayah is فِيهِمَا فَاكِهَةٌ, in both of the Jannah, meaning all four of the Jannah, there shall be فَاكِهَةٌ, fruit, وَنَخْلٌ وَرُمَّانٌ, palm trees and pomegranates. So these are the two fruits of Jannah. And Allah Ta'ala knows the best. But in this ayah, He says these two very special fruits. And Allah Ta'ala probably knows there's something special behind them. So when we mean palm trees, we mean dates. So the two fruits that Allah Ta'ala specifically mentioned in this ayah are dates, meaning the palm trees, and rumman, the pomegranates. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, that which of your Lord's favor will you both deny? فِيهِنَّ خَيْرَاتٌ حِسَانٌ, in all the gardens will be noble people. Meaning that whatever these kind of people are, as I said in a couple of ayahs before, that these kind of people, they have been not affected, they have not been touched by man or jinn, as they have been stayed pure. So Allah Ta'ala is saying in this ayah that the people of Jannah, they will be pure, and that nothing will affect them. And then in the next ayah, we shall see where they shall reside. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, that which of your Lord's favor will you both deny? حُورٌ مَقْصُورَاتٌ فِي الْخِيَامِ, so the people of Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reserve them in tents. And these tents are nothing like the tents of this dunya, as I said earlier. So these tents, some Mufassirin have said, they are hollowed out pearls. And these tents are humongous. And you know how small a pearl is. So imagine what kind of pearl Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will find, and how He will carve it and make it into a beautiful palace. So imagine it's a tent the size of like probably hundreds of millions of mansions. And it's made out of pearl. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that maybe it shall be made out of hollowed out pearls. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ لَمْ يَطْمِثْهُنَّ إِنسٌ قَبْلَهُمْ وَلَا جَانٌّ. So no, Allah Ta'ala is repeating the same thing again, that no human nor jinn has ever touched these people of Jannah before, and that they shall stay pure forever. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان متكئين على رفرف خضر وعبقري حسان. All believers will be on reclining on green cushions and splendid carpets. So over here, عبقري, in the translation, it means carpets. But in reality, this is a translation. The real thing, this عبقري comes from the word عبقر. And Abaqar was actually the capital of the jinn world in the folk tales of the Arab people. So the Arab people, they used to refer to anything amazing to Abaqar. So because they used to think that the Abaqar, the palace or the capital of the jinn, was amazing. It was bustling forth with energy and stuff like that. So this is what the idea was. So Abaqari is basically a word that describes something like that. So as I said, abaqari is something that the Arab used to describe that was something amazing, something beautiful, something magnificent. If somebody was good at character, you should say you're abaqar, that you are something beautiful, that you have done something good. So abaqari can mean something beautiful, something good. But in the translation, it says carpets, which is also acceptable, meaning that it's also something good and beautiful. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that these kind of carpets and green cushions will be hisan, the best of all of them. So I just want to go to Surah Al-Insan quickly, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about something very similar of how he describes the people of Jannah as well. He says, مُتَّكِئِينَ فِيهَا عَلَى الْأَرَائِكِ. Very similar to the ayah. They shall be reclining on canopied couches, meaning that they shall have some kind of cover over them. لَا يَرَوْنَ فِيهَا شَمْسًا وَلَا زَمْهَرِيرًا. They shall never see any scorching heat or any bitter cold. So these are the kind of people of Jannah. And what shall Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them with? وَجَزَاهُمْ بِمَا صَبَرُوا جَنَّةً وَحَرِيرًا. So for their patience in this dunya, Allah will reward them with a garden in paradise and garments of silk. So inshallah, moving on to the last ayah, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان تبارك اسم ربك ذي الجلال والإكرام. That which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? And the last ayah, the best way how to end the surah, تبارك اسم ربك ذي الجلال والإكرام. Blessed is the name of your Lord, the one who has full authority and the one who is full of majesty and honor. So inshallah, this ends Surah Ar-Rahman, the second part, inshallah. I hope you all benefited from this, inshallah. And Abdurrahman, we can launch the polls, inshallah.
Yes, Jazakallah khairan. Inshallah, now I have just released the poll questions. The poll questions are a few questions about what Abdullah has spoke about. Now, inshallah, while you will be answering these poll questions, I'll be reciting Surah Ar-Rahman from Ayah 46, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولمن خاف مقام ربه جنتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ذواتا أفنان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما عينان تجريان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما من كل فاكهة زوجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان متكئين على فرش بطائنها من استبرق وجنتين دان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهن قاصرات الطرف لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان كأنهن الياقوت والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان الجزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ومن دونهما جنتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان مدهامتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما عينان نضاختان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما فاكهة والنخل ورمان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهن خيرات حسان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان حور مقصورات في الخيام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان متكئين على رفرف خضر وعبقري حسان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان تبارك اسم ربك ذي الجلال والإكرام.
Allah khair, Abdurrahman, for this beautiful recitation of the last portion of Rahman. So now, inshallah, I think so it's been a good 4 minutes, inshallah. I think so. Most of you guys have answered the polls, inshallah. So now, inshallah, I will go over the polls. Number 1, which kind of people will be rewarded with 2 gardens? Those who have feared Allah and respected His decision, those who have caused Allah's anger, the people of Quraysh and their people, and the Jews and the Christians. So the correct answer is those who have feared Allah and respected His decision. وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ. And the ayah says so clearly, as for the one who fears his Lord shall be 2 gardens. Number 2, what color will be the gardens that Allah shall provide for us? Blue, red and yellow, dark green, or a rose-colored garden? So the correct answer is a dark green color. Allah says, مُدَهَامَّتَانِ, a dark greenish color hue. So this is what Allah Ta'ala says. Number 3, Allah says in ayah 68, in these gardens will be fruits, blanks and blanks. What are the name of these 2 specific fruits that Allah mentions? Grapes, palm trees, meaning dates, apples, bananas, pomegranates, or kiwis. So the correct answer is palm trees, meaning the date, and the pomegranates. Allah Ta'ala says, فِيهِمَا فَاكِهَةٌ وَنَخْلٌ وَرُمَّانٌ. In it shall be fruit, and the 2 specific ones that Allah Ta'ala mentioned are the palm trees, the date basically, and warumman, the pomegranate. Number 4, true or false? The things in Jannah are like the items of our world. True or false? So the correct answer is false, as Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says that anything in this world is as nothing as compared in al-akhirah. And Ibn Abbas also has said that whatever is like in the like of this world shall be multiplied by 100 folds in al-akhirah. So inshallah, this ends our poll, inshallah. Abdurrahman, do you want to say anything, inshallah, before we conclude?
Before we conclude, I would just like to say Jazakallah khairan for everyone attending today. Please join us next Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. same time. For now, inshallah, we will start a new surah, Surah Qamar, inshallah. I will be doing the main section, and then Abdullah will be doing the next 99 name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakallah khairan again for everyone attending. Now, inshallah, Abdullah.
Jazakallah khair. So inshallah, now do the dua. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله